Hi there, my name is Claire, and welcome to Fan Service powered by Streamily. In this series, we talk to some wonderful guests about what makes them a fan. And in this episode, we have a Hitman special. It's Diana Burnwood herself. Yes, it's Jane Perry. And we've got the wonderful Agent 47. Yes, it's David Bateson. Hey, Jane. Hey, David. How are you doing?
Really good, thanks.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
you know that Streamily is all about the fans.
Mm.
So let's just start from the top. What makes you a fan? Let's start with Jane.
Well, what makes me a fan of an actor or director or anybody, I think is kind of the things that make them really unique and interesting. And it's also about looking at their body of work and going, oh, wow, they did this. And then they did that. And then they can do that. And, I guess it's also about their range and what they have to offer. And of course, then it comes down to, are they a storyteller that's so engaging that you just get enveloped in what they're doing and lost in what they're doing to the point where you're just like, I'm a fan. Oh my God, I love everything you do. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what fan means for me.
What about
Yeah.
you, David? What makes you a fan? What gets you in there?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just kind of it's the imagination of it. Um in the world of computer games where literally anything is possible, I'm intrigued by as a fan of the people involved in a game which is full of fantasy, full of escapism, full of adventure, and I can actually, not that I play much now, but I I remember myself thinking when I was playing some games that I would just repeat a level. And I've even done it in Hitman and Sapienza, in Hitman 2. There I am in Italy, and I'm just going, you know what? I'm Agent 47. I'll kill this guy when I've had my coffee. And I'd go and explore Sapienza.
Yeah, Sapiens is that's a pretty great
You know,
place to hang out in, I must
yeah,
say.
I just go for a walk down the streets. So it's the whole idea that when you enter these worlds that you can escape to a place which it's sometimes exists, like Sapienza being a real place and based on a real place in Italy, or it can be Returnal, yeah, Returnal
Yes.
where Jane's been. I'm a massive fan of Jane because she's been, which looks
Wow.
amazing. So it's the idea of just who talking to someone or being a fan of someone who's actually been to these fantastical places which exist or don't exist, but they exist in my imagination.
So you're talking more about fan in terms of like genre and place and environment and game. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking more of like actors that I've been fans of.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
All apply. It all makes sense. That all works.
yeah.
What growing up, thinking back, what made you a fan of a specific cartoon, film, actor,
Yeah.
anything? Like, what were the things that you were really into growing up, Jane?
Well, I loved The Bionic Woman. I just love
Yes.
that so much. And I love Lindsay Wagner, the way she like when she's thinking she would do this with her hands. And I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. And I do it to this day, I think. It's just become part of like, probably my muscle memory or something. But yeah, I just loved her. I just thought she was so, of course she, was with the $6 million man. So what's not to like? But no, she was, apart from that, such an independent, interesting, like fabulous go-getter kind of woman. And I loved her physicality and her strength. And I just found her super inspiring. And I really had a little fangirl crush on her when I was younger. So I think that she,
Cool.
is large when I think about, whom I'm a fan of, Lindsay Wagner.
I like that answer. What about you, David? Growing up, who were you a fan of, or what were you a fan of?
Well, yeah, that's gonna be sound really weird. I I liked Scooby-Doo as a game.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm that sad. It's something to do with the humor. It takes me away. And oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, it was um oh man. It's the Nolan North and Uncharted, the Uncharted game, because of their rapport. Again, that they had this fantastical adventure, but with humor.
Mm.
And the other one I was a fan of, which is almost annoying when it kind of outbeat the Hitman franchise in the BAFTA Games survey, is Lara Croft.
Mm.
Because I I just thought she was really cool, and the voice of Lara Croft. I saw her on TV the other day, or no, at the awards, at
Yeah.
the BAFTA Games, and I was literally transported. Oh, it's Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Um, there was something delightful and delicious about her voice, which I also happen to have, and I'll admit it now. I don't care if everyone's watching, with Jane Perry's voice as
Oh,
Diana.
please. You're just saying that because I'm here.
No, no, then look away. It's Jane Perry's.
You've got such a distinctive voice though, Jane. I was I was out with the lovely Maggie Robertson last night,
Oh,
and
God.
Maggie only had wonderful things to say about you. For those who don't know, Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil Village, another person with a very distinctive voice. But I
Yeah.
think that it's wonderful you mentioned this, David, about someone's voice just
Yeah,
taking you to a place. That's a very special skill as an actor, if you're specifically working with your voice, to be
yeah.
able to reach fans with just that. Like, that is incredible. Like, how is it that I don't know, like maybe it's just something that you're born with, or do you think it's a skill that you have to develop as an actor to bring gravitas with only your voice? Is that something you've had to really learn as an actor,
Well,
Jane?
Hmm. Well, that's a good question. I guess it always kind of comes back to the acting, what's going on in the scene, and what does a character need to do in order to get what you want, and how are you going to do that? And so that does cross, I think, into territory of, well, how am I going to use my voice to get what I want? And we do this naturally all the time, right? Like we moderate our voice. If we're talking to somebody we're kind of attracted to, then we'll be like, "Hi, how you doing?" And whatever. Or if we're speaking to a child, we use different vocal qualities to create rapport with them, and then to get what we want out of the situation. But I think actually that gravitas that you talk about is probably a natural aspect of my voice. But I think over the years I have learned how to use it quite specifically, almost like an instrument, where I can think, okay, I'm going to drop down a bit of an octave here because I want to make a point, or want to intimidate or threaten this person, whatever. So it's a bit of both, I guess. It's a bit of skill stuff, and then it's just the vocal quality that I have. But I think, David, you've got that quality too, this kind of seriousness that, you say a few words and people are like, okay, do whatever you say.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's I don't know what it is about voice. I guess because we're human. But I kind of started in radio in a country where they didn't even have TV. So your whole imagination was switched on by the sound of voices
Mm.
and their ability to storytell and to take you to a place where you've either never been before, or you have no knowledge of, and all you've got is this person who's standing there in an empty room with a metal thing in front of them called a microphone. So that did the trick for me. Looking back on it, I probably think that's the kind of, but that's in. I hadn't thought of this thing where you said, Jane, but that it's how do I get what I want? How can I? And you don't mean that selfishly or like a spoiled brat. But there is that. I remember my student advisor at university saying, and I don't know why I remember this, saying to me, "Do you realize there are 12 personalities in front of us?" And I went, "No, I think it's just the two of us, you and me." And he said, "No, no, because," and then he went through and explained the levels. There's, I am playing a role that I want you to like, and you're playing a role that the opposite. And then there's I must project an image of how it's just how
Oh,
you
the
feel about
layers.
something. Yeah. And we're doing
Yeah.
that all the time. And I mean, in the simple versions, what Jane was saying was, yeah, you're right. We talk, so we do have our telephone voice, and we have our bedtime.
Yeah.
But we
Yes.
also have
Isn't
playing with
it?
the kids' voice, which is and
Yeah.
I sometimes get if I meet someone and I'm in a silly mood, I might have my little child voice on them, or like just messing around voice, and they get kind of like, "What? You're a grown man." I don't get, and if they don't know me, they don't know quite how to take that. I went, "Oh, sorry, I need to chill a bit."
I love
Um,
this idea of the telephone voice, like back in the day when there was one telephone per household. And my mom would always be like,
yeah,
hello. She
yeah.
would put on that wasn't her voice, but she'd be like, hello.
Is that my
Yes,
mom?
We all did that because
Yeah.
it mattered, because there was just one phone and it was, I don't know. I guess we were just conscious of the fact that the person on the other end of the line could only hear our voice. So
Yeah.
let's put on the vocal version of our Sunday best and
Yeah.
say, hello. You
you're
know?
right. I think there are certain very old school ways of thinking about how we present ourselves via voice. The phone was a great example nowadays. If our phone rings, we see the name coming up. If it's Jane, I'll
Yeah.
go, hey, Jane. So I'm not going to go, hello, Jane. Like that would be
Yeah. Yeah.
very strange.
I hope you
So
will though, because that
I,
sounded
I do that
nice.
all the time when I talk to Jane. Okay.
hello, Jane. How are you doing, darling?
How
So
do you
I
do?
feel like it's, yeah, like even my mother used to say to me, because obviously I have this accent, she always used to say to me, Claire, if you want a good job one day, you need to
Uh,
make sure you pronounce all your S's and all your T's and really open your mouth and speak properly. So I don't have a very strong Scottish accent. But
yeah.
that's, it really got me. It did. It actually ended up that people, if I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I speak like that. You know what I mean? All right there, how you doing, mate? Like you wouldn't. Not that everyone in Scotland speaks like that, but
No, they
you.
do.
You just defended a whole country, Claire.
Yeah, yeah. Way
Look,
to go.
Your
Yeah, you
country.
can never go back home.
I live in
So there you
America now.
go.
You can't catch me. This is where I live now. In a virtual space with a meatball head for a friend. So this is where
And an orange cat.
in an orange cat. This is my life now, you guys. We were talking about fan stuff. I wanted to ask you because I meet lots of people on my travels, very famous people and creative people. Has there ever been somebody that you have met that you're perhaps not a fan of particularly, but that has made you nervous, where you've gone, oh, this is such and such, this person's a great actor or a great director, and so you feel yourself getting slightly nervous. Have you ever felt that way?
Well, yeah, yeah. I had a sort of phase in my life here in the UK where I basically made a career out of playing supporting roles to very famous actors and
Mm,
people. And and one of those was Isabelle Huppert, and who I've
Oh,
adored, like, for the past, whatever, 20, 30 years. Wonderful French actress. I
yeah.
first saw her, I think, in Madame Bovary in the 90s. Anyway, I ended up being cast in a film with her, and I was like, "Hi!" Like, I felt like I was such a fangirl. I was like, and attempted, of course, I tried to speak to her in French, which
Oh no,
she's French. I do not speak very good French, but she seemed to appreciate the effort. And then we actually had a really nice conversation. But I do remember that moment of thinking, oh my God, it's her. I watched her on film. I've admired her. She's so amazing. And then you're in the same room, and you have to like just calm down your nervous system to the point where you can actually, like, converse. It's a very weird feeling. And it must be really weird for them too, because they know what you're going through. They're just sitting there watching it, waiting for you to calm
yeah.
down. And then and she was lovely. She really put me at ease and was great.
what about you, David? Have you ever met anyone like
Oh,
that and it's made you
yeah.
kind of sort of tighten up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm in two minds whether to tell you this, but I'm going to
Go on.
anyway.
Okay.
But 30 years have passed, so I'm going to tell you now.
Oh, good, good, good.
When I was in 1972, 73, I'm 12, 13, I'm a young child. I saw Kes, this film set in Northern Ireland, where Helen Mirren was this young mum, and this boy had a falcon or what do you call it? Yeah,
Yeah,
kestrel or something like that. And
yeah.
I don't know if it was because my hormones were just switching on or something, but I just thought, oh. And I didn't even know what meant. But the point is, then fast forward 150 years,
You're
and I'm
looking
doing a
great,
film
by the way, David. You're looking
for 150 years, and I'm like, and I'm doing a film with her, a Danish, uh, a film in English, but in Denmark, the original story of Hamlet, called Hamlet, Prince of Jutland, with a young Christian Bale playing Hamlet, Helen Mirren playing Queen of Denmark, and it was Gabriel Byrne, the late great Tom Wilkinson, and everyone was in this film, shot in Denmark. And I was flown to London to meet the cast because I was the only person who was cast in Denmark in a leading role. Um, um, and I walked in the door and I thought, I've got this. I've got this. I'm going to be cool now. I'm walking in with the director. He's just won an Oscar for a film called Babette's Feast the year before. And and then we're going around introducing each other ourselves to each other. And I thought, when I left the UK the year before, I wouldn't have been allowed inside the building where these people were assembled. And there I am in the room inside the building. And the first thing I do is blow it spectacularly in front of Helen Mirren, because I'm suddenly a 12, 13-year-old boy going, oh. And when someone really famous comes at you and says, it could be, Sean Connery going, oh, I'm Sean Connery. Well, of course it's Sean Connery. So when Helen Mirren came up to me and said, hi, I'm Helen Mirren, I said, yes, of course you are. Oh, God. And I could just see the light going off in her eyes, and that's it. I'm never gonna talk to this guy again for 3 months of filming on location, which meant
And did she talk to you again?
no, she did not.
Oh, I'm
And
so
she's a lovely
sorry.
person. She just completely ghosted me. Like, I mean, bless her. I still think the world of her, but she had made up her mind going, okay, he's a loser.
Oh
No,
no.
no. You're filling in the blanks in a negative way. I'm sure she didn't think that at all.
No, but I don't know. But the point is, she just went, I don't have time for this. Instead of, because I went on to say, I really adore your work, if I may say so. And maybe because I mentioned the film Kiss, and she's thinking, oh my goodness, damn, I'm not that old. And maybe, who knows? But
You don't know.
yeah,
You don't know.
so you never know. But like, there was a whole childhood memory that just crashed into the sea and burnt.
Oh no. I'm sure it wasn't that. I'm sure she was just thinking, I'm being professional and I have to get on with my work. And
Yeah. Well, you can say that, but sitting in a trailer every morning at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of location, and there's a big mirror in front of you. Helen's sitting there, I come in afterwards, and you've been given your morning coffee, and you're looking at each other, and you go, morning, Helen.
Yeah, right. I know.
Just going,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say something else like, did you just sleep well? I'm like, yeah, just and no, nothing. No, nothing. I still think the world of you, Helen Mirren, if you're watching this and you are a lady and a dame and whatever.
I'd be the same with Helen Mirren. She's extraordinary. And I'd be like, blah, blah, blah.
She's amazing. And do you know what? If you're going to go weird, I'd just say lean right into it, David. Go even weirder. Just go really strange.
I'm going to say that from now on. Claire told me, just go there.
I'm just yes-anding my weirdness. We're just gonna move through it. But what about you guys? Like, when fans meet you, if you're at conventions or on stream, or if you're at an event, and somebody comes up to you guys and they have that nervous disposition and they're like, oh my God, oh my God. How do you react? How do you calm that person down and make them feel okay?
Well, first of all, when that happens, I find it so sweet and so touching. And I'm also a little bit like surprised, like, oh, right. Oh, okay. And I think the best way to just sort of leapfrog over it is just to connect and just to be like gracious. And because we did a Comic-Con recently, didn't we, Dave? We had lots of lovely people who were just so thrilled to have us there. And you just get to chatting, and talk to them about stuff, and I think it's the connection with fans that, you know, if anybody's a bit nervous about it, it's just the connection that you know,
Yeah.
allows them to just have a normal conversation. But
Yeah.
it's kind of lovely. It's lovely, you know, it is lovely.
Yeah. What about you, David? How do you calm the nerves of someone who's meeting you and they're a little bit scared?
I asked them questions.
Yeah.
I have to say, Jane did a good job with her telephone voice on them. In a nice, that sounds so shallow. No, I didn't mean like that. It wasn't a telephone voice. It's just you were good at making them relax.
Oh,
But
thank
I think so, because I think some people had quite a tough time. But I find the ways just to ask them questions.
you. That's a
Um,
nice idea.
and when the
Yeah.
moment they start answering a question, then they're having a conversation. And then, hey, it's not so bad, you know. Have you come a long way? Or how's your family here? Oh, is this your daughter? And wow. So what was the first game you played? And you know, they're genuine questions. They're not just filling the air. But I want to put them at ease so we can have a memorable time instead of them going away after a couple of minutes and going, what did I say? Oh, I don't remember, you know. So the more they can kind of just be zoned in to be present in the moment with us, the more they'll remember, and the more memorable it will be.
Yeah,
Mm.
connection, because we're all human at the end of the day, and
Mm.
we all laugh and cry, and you know,
Yeah.
so we're all the same. Speaking of connecting, the good thing about Streamly is folks don't have to come out to a convention to come and see
Oh,
you guys, so they which is
like that at all.
which is nice because you can connect with folks all over the world. You've done a Streamily signing
Yeah,
together before. What was that like for you, your first Streamily experience? What did that feel like for you guys?
a good one.
It was great, you know, because it felt like, when was that? That was sort of just after loads of lockdowns and COVID and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And it really, to me, felt like, oh, this is one of these moments, this is one of these things that's actually come out of a really difficult time that we've all gone through. And and I really appreciate just what you said, Claire, the fact that anybody can join in and be a part of this sort of session. And if you can't make it to a convention because of where you live, you can just participate still on this online platform. And I just thought it was brilliant. And I had such a nice evening. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was really warm and lovely. And everybody who, you know, wanted something signed, they were just super lovely. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. What about you, David? What was your first impression of it all?
Well, I mean, apart from I ditto everything Jane has just said, because it was coming out of a very dark place with the pandemic lockdown. But whoever invented Streamily, that was a really good idea.
Mhm.
I don't know how, you know, if they just no one would put two and two together and use the technology to make it as an intimate interaction as it is. But maybe it was just the timing of it. As I say, maybe that was it. Maybe it was because of the isolation. I'm going, how do we work around this? Come on, we got to meet people without meeting people, and then make it real personal and write a message that, you know, they can see that they've written and asked us, and there you go, and there it is, you know, and, they go,
Yes.
and that'll be in my post box soon. I, I think it was a brilliant idea, and felt very intimate, because it still does obviously involve what do you call it, technology,
Yep.
but coming on the back of pandemic, it was a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely. Well, it's
Mm.
Dave at Streamly that created the whole thing, and he is also an actor, specifically does a lot of voice work. So he understands the connection in the community, which I think
Yeah,
is very, very important. It's very important, especially with what you guys do in terms of video games. People are spending hours with your
yeah,
characters. Hours
Mm.
is slightly different from when I was growing up. I would see one film with an actor and then maybe not see another film with that certain actor for several years apart. but I
Yeah.
spent time on games, and I think that's why people really feel this connection. Would you agree in terms of video games versus maybe film? It's slightly different. What would you say, Jane?
I think there's a different sense of ownership over the characters. Maybe ownership's not the right word, but
Mm.
in a way it is, because you are with a character for so many hours. You're going on this incredible journey with the character, and then the other characters that surround what the character who might be the player or whatever. And you just spend so much time with people. And I think that the people who play the games get to know the characters on such an intimate level. And that really strikes me, when I meet the players at a convention or wherever I happen to be. I'm really taken by their intimate knowledge of the game and my voice and choices that perhaps I've made as an actor. And there's this, I think the hours create a sort of encyclopedic understanding and knowledge of a game and of a character. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sort of like wearing that, I think as a player, you're wearing that person's skin as well, even though you guys voice these characters. For example, Hitman specifically, I'm a very sloppy Hitman. I am terrible.
Well,
I
wash your
want to
hands.
like, I kind of like bumble my way along. Oh, whoops, I shot a guy. Well, oh,
Oh,
there's a
well,
fridge. We'll
just
just
pushed
put
him
him
off
in
a
there.
balcony. Yeah.
I love pushing people off balconies. That is my favorite thing.
It is actually pushing them off a balcony or having some blunt instrument like a chandelier or a statue fall
Yeah.
on them. I love
Yeah.
that. Don't you?
I love
But
that. Or like throwing apples at their heads and knocking them out.
yeah, something stupid or killing them with a fish. I love that one. Just I'm gonna fish you. Poof, gotta hurt.
Well,
But
David, yeah, go on. Sorry.
yes, but just to add to this, I did a concert recently on in the National Concert Hall with the National Orchestra playing the music of computer games, soundtracks. And I'm there to read up quotes from the different games. And the whole thing started off with Agent 47 and very heavy stuff and stuff, so on. But the host said something in his introduction, and I nearly fell off my chair. He said this thing was these 4 shows plus the dress rehearsal was sold out in under an hour. And I went, yeah, great. And then I thought you could really feel this sense of energy or excitement in the orchestra or in the room. And he said something which I had not thought about. He said, listen, the reason why the music is such a good memory thing because it's about feelings. Music creates feelings and feeling memory. And when you play a computer game, you play it for many hours, 35 hours, 50 hours. I mean, you can come back to it. And even in my favorite film, Blade Runner, I've seen maybe 10 times. That's about 20 hours or something, 20, that's go home, just playing one game and intensely getting through the game and going back to your favorite levels and so on. You're there for 35, 40 hours with repeats and picking ups and going back to your favorite bits. That's an awful long time to spend in the company of our voices and these characters that we portray, and of course listen to this fabulous game music. And I'd never thought of it like that, and it helped put it in perspective how intense the feeling of, or electrifying the feeling was in this room was. Going, these fans are going, just give me Super Mario now, and play it again, orchestra, and the 80 people in the choir just it was more intense than I've experienced at all these theme concerts, which I do quite a lot of. But wow,
No,
I
it's
hadn't thought of
incredible. Games give people so much. I think for those who still don't understand that, games can be educational, good for mental health, bring people together. I'm a very big advocate of that, and super amazing for my friends who are actors in games because you get to wear all sorts of different masks and it doesn't matter what you look like. And how fun as actors to be able to do whatever. It must be so fun.
It is so much fun. I'm working on a game right now, and the character is larger than life, and she's so evil and hideous and
What?
delicious. And I'm
Jane
just like,
Perry
oh,
evil?
heaven, I'm in heaven.
I love that so much. I was doing a for fun, like a voice class, and we were reading out a script from a like a Nickelodeon cartoon, and I loved it's funny what pours out of your soul when you're reading, just having fun with it. It doesn't matter what you look like. Everyone's in their pajamas. It's on Zoom. It was so fun. It's very cathartic. I think everyone should take acting classes or whatever at least once in their life just to
Yeah.
like release. Very therapeutic. But going back to Streamily, you've got a signing coming up very soon. What
Yeah.
can people expect from your signing? Like, how are you guys feeling about it, David?
Oh, listen, I can't wait. Like Jane mentioned earlier, we absolutely love meeting the fans, and this is as close as we can get to doing that, and it's pretty darn close. So I really enjoy that. So I'm looking forward to meeting, yeah, planet Earth, all its eccentricities, and I'm just thinking, yeah, bring it on, where have you been?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I really enjoy it. It's a bit what you just said about the acting classes. Yeah, everyone should because you tap into something which you don't even know is there. And it just frees you. We know this as actors, but if you've been locked into a computer game and you have this community of friends, literally, friends on the internet and as well as friends who have the same passion and have been in the same world. And then suddenly you get to meet them on the screen and they do what you ask them to do, which I think is just mind-blowingly close to intimacy as you can get with them, of reaching out and hugging them. So no, I can't wait. I love it.
And you, Jane, you must be excited too. It'd be good to do it together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited because, well, David's been in Hitman for how long? 25 years now?
25 years. I was 4 years old.
Yeah, right. A long time. And I've been doing it for, I don't know, whatever, 8, 10 years, something like that. And I love it. We love it so much. I love that game. I love the character I play. I love her relationship with Agent 47. And because I love all of that, I also love talking about it with fans and listening to what they enjoy with it. It's just a big love fest, right? Because we're coming together over this thing that brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of joy to me as an actor. And I, hopefully everybody who attends, it will be bringing them a lot of joy as players. And that's just a nice thing to connect over, the things that make us happy. So I'm totally looking forward to it.
Yeah.
For those who want to join in with the stream, there will be details and links in the description of this video. We will post all of that out. Make sure that you visit Streamily's website and Jane and David's shop as well. Again, links will all be in the description for you, so make sure you do that. Jane and David, I could have talked to you for another hour, 2, 3 a day. Like, it's been absolutely wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much for joining me, and good luck with the event. And we'll see you very, very, very soon. Take care.
Yes. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much. And David, we'll see you on Tuesday night at the 4th of June. at 7.
Yes.
Looking
We'll see you
forward to it.
soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.